Hello, it is March 9th, Thursday, and we are going to, it's about midday through the market, it's a little over midday. We're going to go over what's happening and what looking forward to going into tomorrow. So starting off here with the S&P 500, we can see that today using the daily Fibonacci extension targets, price went up there today, hit off right off of it really nicely, and then now has gone on down, and that's basically all that's happened right there. Hit up the top ways. It looked like it was on the way to being a blowout trade, going the other way today, and then just reversed right when it hit the top, the 1.414 Fibonacci extension level, and is now all the way down here at the bottom, and has now reached the opposite way 1.146 level. So that's the target. We'll see if we can get some support down here if it bounces off of it. I'm hoping the market continues to melt down, which it's continued to do right there, and we continue going lower, and then we have an official blowout day, and we can look to get in the trade tomorrow going long for it. And I'll show you how exactly that looks like here in oil, because oil had a perfect setup that did complete it today using the blowout trade. So that's what we're looking for in the SP 500. We're looking for price to continue moving on down here. Let's delete that out of there. Moving on down here, and what we would do going into tomorrow is we would take the high of the day, which is up there, and let's say the low of the day is just right here for all intents. That's where the price ends. Low of the day, all intents and purposes. Then what I would do going into tomorrow, I'd have a long entry standing right here, because typically what happens when you have a blowout day down to one side, the next day price will continue its move lower if it's going lower, and then higher if it had been going higher, but it will continue it somewhat, and usually it's at least down to right here. It obviously can go lower than that, but that seems to be a pretty good area to get in at, and then the exit we'd have would be right up here at 4004.75 for it. So that's how that works. There was one of the extreme trades that I was looking at, but did not get in on it right there. Let's see, price using that semaphore. Price ticked off right here perfectly at the 4.236 Fibonacci extension level, and then the X we look for that is the it was the 38% for all of it, or excuse me, up until the 6.85. But to be honest, I'm now looking at for it to be completely over to be the 50%. I'm watching this. See, there would have been the exit right there, 40.38. If you had gotten in right there, but there's just no way to tell, if that's going to be the stopping point for it. So I usually wait for at least the 6.85 level to get hit, and especially 11.89 up right around here before 11.89. You see about 3/4 of the way. That seems to be a real safe point to get in for it. And so I'm leaning towards moving the permanent exit being the 50% level right there, rather than changing it from the 38%, which is when it starts off, it breaks right here. We're looking for a 38% to get hit, and then I change it to 50% when it gets hit the 6.85. So I'm just watching some other trades and see how well that goes for it. But anyways, that was just one for today that got hit, and so yeah, we're looking for hopefully this market continues to melt down, and we can go into a blowout trade for tomorrow. Now going over to the Russell 2000, we are in a great, look at this right here. This has been a great blowout trade down here that we're going to wait for tomorrow. You can see using yesterday's high right there, and then the low right there. Price didn't even go up there and hit off the extreme high point, but instead pivoted off and hit there's the low extension. There's an even lower extension, so we're officially off to the races right there. If this bar right here, the low of it was at 1855.5. If it had come down and hit the 1.414 at 1854.4, and then price had gone back up to hit the 1.146 level, it would have been over. It would have been over and done, and the blowout trade wouldn't be in effect going into tomorrow. Or if price hits the 1.146 and then using the previous day's high, say it hit right there, and then it reversed off of there, the 1.146, and hit the 38% level, then that would have also completed it as well. But since neither of those things happen and price is off to the races, what I'll be looking for going into tomorrow, definitely assuming in the next 2.5 hours this market doesn't make a huge run up, I'll look for, let's say, here's the low of the day. Let's say this sticks as the low of the day right here. Price just waffles around it in a little bit. So using the high day, low of the day, the entry I'd be looking to get in would be about 1840.8, and then the exit would be the 1.146 level right up here. And again, this is just assuming this stays at the low. If it goes lower, obviously, we'd move those Fibonacci levels, lower down in there. And then the exit would be the 1.414 for the previous day blowout trade. We'll just do that and that. Top of the box right there, 1861.2. So yeah, looking good so far. So hopefully we don't get any type of reversal here the rest of the day. If you look at the 4-hour chart right here, price is extremely oversold here on the 4-hour chart. Hopefully that doesn't switch up at all and give us a nice little pop back up, which will happen sooner than later. Because on the 4-hour chart, typically, like if you look at it, if you're going into like right here, here's where it's completely oversold. Nice little pop up right there. Here it comes right down in here, and then you have a nice little pop up there. Here was oversold right there. You have a nice little pop up right there. So that's typically what happens. Sometimes you don't get that big of a move, but it does signal that there will be a little bit of reversal, and that's what we're looking to catch. And like here we have this right up here, goes right up there, and then we had the turning point right there. So that's typically just one of the guides that I look for it. So hopefully price won't make a big move back up here before tomorrow hits, and I can look to get in even lower down there. Now, going over into the Dow Jones, there's really not a whole lot going on in the Dow Jones today. You can see using the daily Fibonacci extension setup, price ticked perfectly off the 1.146 level and just sold off ever since. I mean, look, it didn't even, the 5-minute chart didn't even close above it, just hit off of it. Closed off it real nicely, and now we're on the races down to almost hitting the other way at the 1.146. So hopefully this market keeps melting down like the other ones, blows past this 1.146, blows past the 1.414, and ends up somewhere down here. That'd be nice. Then we'd have another blowout trade set up here in the Dow Jones. And this is what I talked about a little bit earlier. Can the 50% be the exit for the extreme trade instead of 38 up to the 6.85? Because like I said earlier, up to the 6.85, the X is 38% Fibonacci retracement level, but I'm trying to see if the 38%, if the 50% should be the target we really look for all along. Because in this trade, I never get in earlier than the 6.85 level. There it is. But like I said a little bit ago, about 3/4 of the way between the 5.85 and 11.89 is a really nice safe spot to get in. And of course, evening closer 11.89. Is even closer as well. So that's what I'm just looking for, because like in this trade right here, if we had used the 38% line coming back towards it right there, you can see it ticked it right there, that little green line right there. So it would have been done. So I'm just trying to see if the 50% should be the ultimate one, especially if I'm looking at getting in later. And as you see, this was from the other day. Man, I wish this didn't get filled, but this is how the daily Fibonacci extension level trades got hit. Went to the 1.146, went to the 1.44, but it went up and hit the 1.146 level. So that's why that one isn't valid. So yeah, other than that, that's just basically the only thing I'm looking for right here for the Dow Jones. Did it hit the 1.146 yet? Yeah, it did. It hit it right there. Look at that, right there. Hit it perfectly. Now price is kind of trying to bounce off of it, but hasn't really done much yet. So hopefully the downward spiral will continue into tomorrow. And then going to the 4-hour MFI, we can see it's completely oversold like it was on the Russell 2000. And you can see it was completely overbought right here, and we've had a bit of sell-off ever since. Let's go over to the back to the S&P to see where we are. And yeah, S&P, same thing as Dow, same thing as Russell 2000, completely oversold here as well. So eventually, may not happen tomorrow. It may go into next Monday, but there will be eventually a pop back up here in the market. And like I said, what I'm looking for in the Russell 2000, I'm looking for more movement to the downside leading into tomorrow, assuming price doesn't get on its horse right here and totally just pop back up here and hit the top of that line to end that trade. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it just keeps on going lower in somewhere down around it's like here or something like that. Then when tomorrow opens, look to get in, wherever the Fibonacci extension level is. And then lastly, oil. This is how the daily Fibonacci extension trade works right here. What we have is using this is day it came off of right here. You can see there's the low, there's the high, there's the 1.146 the other way, the 1.414. Their price hit the 1.414, went back up a little bit, and then off to the races down the next day. So the area I was looking at getting in, if we draw the next day over right there, was right there. You can see that's where I got in right there. You can see the, make it a little bigger, you can see the blue candle, got it, or the blue arrow right there, got in right there. And then the exit I was looking for, that would have been the final exit right here. I got out a little bit sooner just to ensure I got out from it. One thing I had been looking at is sometimes what happens is, so I'm trying to figure out if this would be the better way to trade it, is still get in down here, but then you get out you get out right here at the bottom side of the blue box, which is just the 1.414 level right there. And then you look to get back in to where you got in before, and then just hold it up until you get closer to it, because I have seen it several times where price goes up, hits the bottom level, bounces back off, collects a bunch of contracts before it finally moves off, and then you can see this trade officially got completed at 8:50 a.m. this morning Central Standard Time when it hit the 1.146, and then ever since then has been selling off like the rest of the market has today for it. So that's how the extreme trade works. You go from, you look for the day, there's the high and there's the low each day, or the previous day, and then when the price for the next day blows through it, then the entry, what you're looking for is you use that next day's high and low, and that's the entry level you're looking for right there. Now obviously price can go lower than that. I've seen it, come down to the next day's 1.44 and even a little bit lower than that, and that just makes it even better money making opportunity. But that seems to be a good level to get in right there to give you good profit and limit the downside that's coming down towards it. Now, not all the time does price always come back down and hit this level, but it does. It seems like the majority of the time when you have the blowout trade set up from the day before. So that's why I do it that way. But anyways, that one is done from oil right there. So we'll go ahead and take all that stuff off. And yeah, so for oil, there's really not anything else to look for today. There's no blowout trades going on or anything like that. There's not an extreme trade, so we just gotta sit and be patient and wait and see what tomorrow will bring. Because unless let's see here, daily extension target, you can see for the daily extension target, price hit perfectly off the 1.146, sold off ever since. So well, hopefully the market will continue pushing lower, blow out through this 1.414 without having a big pull back to it. Let's see, are the other ones popping back up a little bit, not a whole lot, but not surprising. Hopefully we'll get more of a sell-off to continue down towards it. So anyways, that's the market wrap up for today, and heading in tomorrow. Thanks, have a good one.